This life, it's not what you own or do, it's something more than that. It's about spending the brief moments that we have on this earth really living, feeling deeply, working with joy, and caring for the earth and those around us. That's what we've learned anyway, that an abundant life isn't about wealth, but rather about how much time you have to spend doing the things that really matter. Moments like these, when the seasons are shifting and you can feel the energy of summer coming, always make us reflect on why it is that we chose this life. You'd think that we'd feel isolated, living as young women alone in the rainforest, but the truth is that our life feels so rich. We chose to live away from it all because we wanted to prioritize a life of creativity, a life where we have the time to make with our hands, to grow our own food, to care for animals, and to work to regenerate the rainforest and help restore this beautiful natural world that we are so lucky to live in. In this time, we've learned to live with not much, but we've found more joy and abundance than we ever thought was possible. Each time we pluck fruit straight from the tree and eat it immediately, we always giggle and say, "Isn't this the richest life that you could have ever imagined?"
Sometimes all of the farm work seems impossible and overwhelming, but then you come to a spot like this and you just sit for a second and you can hear all of the frogs and they have this beautiful chorus, and the whipbirds in the valley, and then you see the beautiful native growth, the hoop pines and lily pillies and coolamons all growing, and then you see the animals grazing, and then you kind of see yourself as part of this system as well, picking fruit and spreading seeds, and it just makes me realise how lucky I am to live in this beautiful place and care for this wonderful land.
This is why we chose to live this life, not because it fits into society's idea of what success and wealth looks like, but rather because it fills us with purpose and meaning.
The goats, as naughty as they are, actually play a crucial role in the farm, and they do so much work. They're our little regenerative helpers, aren't you? All day, all of the goats run around the farm eating all of the weeds and fertilizing the soil and eating the fruit, and it's just so beautiful to see. These are devil's figs, and they are our worst enemy of a tree, and they've just recently come to the rainforest, but they just grow prolifically every year, and if you can't get rid of them, they've got this really deep root system, so you have to pull them out really early before they kind of spread everywhere. So we pull them out as much as we can, but obviously sometimes we miss some and they get bigger like this. But the goats, the little angels that they are, have started eating them because they're just amazing. So they love the taste of them, and that really helps to get rid of them. So thank you, goaties, for all of your help, and thank you so much to our patrons for your help as well, because your help lets us regenerate the farm slowly but surely. I think I'll come down here tomorrow morning and try to weed these bigger ones out.
To care for one small patch of earth and witness the change we can make sprout before our eyes feels like the kind of abundant life I never imagined I could have. It took me a long time to understand this, and for many years I felt that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't working hard enough or making big enough change in the world. But then I realized that it only takes a small seed sprouting or a native ecosystem beginning to thrive to make immense change. So we spend our days here planting as many trees as we can and caring for this incredible biodiverse ecosystem.
These are blue condons, and they're a native rainforest tree that drop their seeds at this time of year. And I think they're edible and medicinal, but I'm not sure much about them. I need to research more. I have a vision for utopia for this special spot. I love coming here and just watching the world go by. But we've planted coolamons all along here, and coolamons are a native tree that are native to this tiny area of rainforest, and there's only a few of them in the valleys, and they're all very protected and very special. But they will one day grow really tall, and they have these like rare pink flowers that fall, and they fall across waterways, and they're just amazing and beautiful and incredible. And then already there's blue condongs here as well, falling down, and the cooler ones are getting big, and there's hoop pines growing, and there's a massive lily pilly, which is also a beautiful native tree. And it's just such a special spot, and it kind of always puts everything into perspective for me.
And then I realised what this abundance means. It means to have space to care for the future, to plant trees whose shade you may never know. Our grandparents understood this. They planted thousands of tropical fruit trees, not just to feed themselves, but to make sure that there was always abundant food for the whole community. I'm not sure if they imagined their grandchildren of the future still being fed by these riches, but it inspires us to continue planting trees and continue this legacy of seeing wealth as a life lived the way you choose. As the safety of a nurturing home, or as the strength of a 60-year-old mango tree.
This is maybe my favorite tree on the whole farm. I don't know, I say that a lot of the trees, but this is a big mango tree and it spreads across the water, so in the summertime you can swim by it and then pluck a mango off the tree and eat it in the dam. It's pretty special. I just smelt the most sweet, fragrant smell, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it might be the mango flowers, but I realized that there's a Jabota carpet tree up the hill just over the fence. And so I think I'm finally on the sheep's and the goat's level for smelling out the trees, because they always smell them before they see them, and you can see them, they're smelling, and then they get led into a paddock and they just run straight from the tree, and I'm always like, where are they going? Oh, that must be fruiting. But my nose is getting on their level now. I think I'm as good as them. I'm gonna try to find that Jabota carpet tree. I can smell it. Jabota carpers are a type of fruit that grows straight on the trunk of the tree. They're kind of like a grape and like some sort of berry combined. They taste really sweet and you can smell them from quite far away. I can't explain, they are such a weird but beautiful tasting fruit. I don't think that you'd know the taste unless you tasted it yourself. But I thought that Maggie deserved a special treat because she's been such a good girl and she often gets lost when she gets distracted cuddling me, so I thought I'd take her on a little solo adventure and she could come eat some Jabota carpers for herself. They are native to Brazil, so they grow really well here because it's a really similar climate. Maggie, you can't eat all of them. You gotta go find the others. If you know anything about us, you know that our biggest passion is for the restoration of land and for the care of animals. So we're really excited for Highland Titles to be sponsoring this week's video and supporting our own regeneration journey. Caring for this patch of earth and planting trees and clearing weeds brings us inspiration like nothing else each morning. But you yourself can feel a similar gratification of seeing your contributions create impacts into the restoration of land. Highland Titles are a family-owned business that let you connect to nature and its restoration. For as little as $40 USD, you can become part of something extraordinary and contribute to the preservation of the breathtaking landscapes of the Scottish Highlands. Basically, they offer novelty plots of lands and novelty certificates of lordship or ladyship. By selling these souvenir plots of land, they're able to generate funds to buy more land to preserve its flora and fauna. All plots are located on the Kilnaish estate in Argyll on the west coast of Scotland, and this land is home to many endangered species such as pine marten and red squirrel and osprey. So when you become a lord, a laird or a lady of the Glen, you're not just buying a novelty gift, you're making an impact on our planet by contributing to the preservation of the Scottish Highlands. You can visit highlandtitles.com to choose your plot size, and as a special offer for our subscribers, you can use our code MOTHERMOUNTAIN25 to receive 25% off your purchase. It is snake season at the moment, so it's when all the snakes come out of their little mini hibernation and they're all kind of sleepy and out and about and dangerous. So this is when you have to be really careful because you see a snake everywhere this time of year.
I think the greatest privilege of this life in nature is our abundance of time and being able to use this time how we wish. We've been building for the past few weeks and we go about this a little differently here. We spend a lot longer on the building site. We could easily fill this space in with bought-to-size aluminium windows and the job would be done in no time. But we instead found these old antique windows which were rusty, wonky and had no glass. They also take a long time to fit into the space and we carry them backwards and forwards for days, measuring, perfecting and preparing because we have the time to do so. Even these long days spent doing hard jobs feel abundant because we find so much purpose in these tasks. Uncle Adam is helping us with all of the bigger jobs and we've been learning so much and are already feeling so much more confident on the building site.
First steps are to take away this and this, I think? Unless he meant that.
This feels like such a big moment. We're replacing the old window with something special. This little nook was something our dad built the structure for. One day when he was building a basic work shed, he called us over to see the framing of this little artisanal loft. He was inspired by European log cabins and built this out of fallen trees, old signs and secondhand metal scraps. He never finished the loft before he died, so to protect it, we quickly finished the structure and made it watertight. Now it feels like we're really honouring the space by putting in the perfect vintage European window. Mum, Julia, Uncle Adam and I all work as a team, slowly seeing our work transform the space as we laugh all together.
Amongst all the mess, I'm trying to find a colour to paint the windows and I'm not sure. We've all kind of been leaning towards a kind of antique green, maybe a little bit like these old doors. So I like to draw from all my paints because they're all quite beautiful kind of natural colours. I do have this, which is an old pigment, and I'm wondering if it could be the right colour. This is pretty exciting. It feels like a big moment and I think the colour is beautiful. It does remind me of Julia's bedroom when she was 9 years old, which worries me because I have a feeling that Julia chose this colour because it reminds her of her bedroom when she was 9 years old. But I think it's good. I'm so excited about this colour. I think it's amazing. No! Not again!
This abundant life gives us the freedom in how we spend our time, and we're so grateful to spend it always learning. One thing that I've noticed is the ways in which we speak about time are so materialistic. We spend time, we waste time, we consume hours. Time is money, we have free time, we lose time. We act as if time is a currency, but restricting it within these terms commodifies our own lives. If you look to the earth, you understand. Time is a rhythm that nature moves to, the seasons shifting to these cyclic rules. It shouldn't control us, but instead conduct our lives. We can shift like a tree losing its leaves or a seed sprouting from soil. But as anything in nature does, we can move at our own pace. Following the materialistic concept of time as money, this job could be finished a lot sooner and consume a lot less of our hours if we just simply bought more new materials and embraced a modern aesthetic. But time is not money, and the hours that we spend building have become a creative practice that brings so much inspiration. This is so valuable to us, the skills learned and the growth and fulfillment. Thinking of time as a currency, some would argue for us to create a quicker, cheaper space with no thought for the future. Instead, we know that these beautiful windows are already 100 years old and will probably last for another 100 years. This is so important, to never create just for yourself in mind, but to always build for a better world. We feel so proud that we made use of an antique which might have been forgotten otherwise. We've spent many hours making it work, but we're grateful for each of those hours spent learning and growing. These weeks spent using our hands have brought us a sense of fulfillment like no other. There is such a great feeling of achievement in using our bodies, our muscles aching from days of hard work, but slowly seeing the space transform, and slowly seeing our skills sharpen and our ability grow.
Big Boss Julia has approved of the colour green, so we're all okay to keep moving ahead. Looks good.
Feeling fulfilled in our work means that when we have spare time, we're able to use it doing the things that we love. And as with anything, I think doing something slowly with love is how to find joy in every corner of life. Cooking dinner on the campfire is our favorite way to romanticize everyday tasks. It takes hours, and sometimes our dog Clover will steal the ingredients while we're distracted, but the warmth of the fire, the day fading, and the taste of a smoky, home-cooked meal is better than anything. The garlic is flowering at the moment, and you need to cut off the flowers so that instead the garlic under the soil fills and will be ready to harvest later. At the shift in the season, just for a short amount of time, we eat garlic flowers in everything. Being in touch with the season's intricacies brings so many joys like these. Each moment of the year has a new delight.
Excuse me, Abby. Excuse me.
Happy the duck loves humans so much. She isn't supposed to be allowed in the garden, but somehow she has found a hole in the fence and a soft spot in all of our hearts. She loves sitting on laps and will climb up as high as she can to forage bugs from your knee.
I'll just keep
We live on the land of the Arakwal and Minjungbal People of the Bundjalung Nation. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country we live on and recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. We thank them for protecting this rainforest and its ecosystems since time immemorial. The eggs are from the chickens, the greens are from the garden, and the potatoes are from a neighbour. It tastes like the season changing, like garlic flowers and fresh herbs, like spring's growth shifting towards summer. Thank you so much to our patrons for your support on our regeneration journey. Your belief in our mission gives us so much inspiration.